fixin' for another big game. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the New England Patriots. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down now. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Eason flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. Against the pass, they've had some issues, ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Looking to throw. Eason eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
Ready? 60 or. Come on, D. Get it.
Now Collins. The numbers for Collins last week, 14 carries, 78 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Flush to his right. That's complete. It's Collins. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 26.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already in the field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now and he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a glance at the man under center at 6'5". He always demands attention.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there for Cincinnati. 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Got a man. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
We go! Ken Lobo.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Shoot!
On 2nd down, it's Brooks. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Let's go,
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there, with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Patriots have taken the lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here now the offense for the Bengals.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
Flushed out right. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Ready? 18 Gator.
Mike, 58, right there. It's our time. It's our time.
Deep river.
On first down, it's Brooks. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 30.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Flush to his right. That is caught at the 7. 23 yards on the play.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there. Really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A 7-yard touchdown grab. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Point after here coming up. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Bengals score. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Back to throw. Eason. Throwing right, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, he gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field, and they find each other for the completion.
Flushed out right. Going for a right side here, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 37. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
It also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. Here's a first down run with Collins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Looking to throw. Eason eluding the pressure. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A 16-yard touchdown as his guys are able to regain the lead. And he shows some mobility there, getting outside of the tackles, moving to the right, making a nice play.
He had the whole field in front of him and was able to actually throw it about where he was looking, right? He said he moved to the right, had his vision there, and put a nice pass into the end zone for a touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 21-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it first and 10. A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on third down.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Patriots take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. The ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
That one goes for 30 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. They'll run on first down. It's Collins, and he's stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Eason going right side here, and that's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here are the Patriots to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I got
it. Get it.
Out of the gun, this is Collins. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Eason escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flushed out right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 35.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Galvin guy has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Eluding the pressure right. That is caught at the 7. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play, keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Right there. Right there.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this will be incomplete.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
He'll live to fight another down, right?
Flushed out right. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. On first down, Brooks. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. As his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around? And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Over the middle, complete. That's Dawson. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. New England on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. He'll buy some time right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield.
Let's go.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload, but you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Flush to his right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, it's Brooks. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. That's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So the Patriots now down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. They need a touchdown with a 2-point conversion and a field goal in either order as they've got it first down. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now in desperation. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Able to get there and pick it.
Good stuff. Keep doing that.
That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's only able to get to right around the 3. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a second and about a mile here. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for Cincinnati, they move back over 500 now at 4-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for New England, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far, and they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner.